Good evening, Monday night soccer night, ILFL soccer night. We are into the summer season. I'm your host, Abul Hasnat, and we are talking all summer. What have we got in line for you today? Well, we're going to be looking at some of the, we're probably going to wind down with the Vets League. Look forward to the Summer Vets League, which announcements are slowly coming up, but I can give you a sneak peek. It's after Ramadan. So Vets Summer League coming up, some of the outstanding competitions that we're looking for, the curtain raisers in the summer, and the biggest thing that we've got coming up a week and a few days from today. It is June the 2nd, UK Bangladeshi Championships final between New York and Beaumont. Rash has got plenty to say here, and I'll smoothly introduce Rash, our usual pundit. I'm going to keep him shut for a minute because I know he can't wait for this final. And Shakil, bro, always good to have you back. Shakil's going to give us a sort of update on social media and press side of things of ILFL. And I have two young guests with me here from our newly formed team in the Summer League, Italian FC, isn't it? You guys got a football club at the end, not Football di Italian. We'll talk about that and why they're called Italian, what they're doing, how they set themselves up. We're going to talk all about that throughout this show. So plenty to go through. But the one thing that I haven't mentioned, the key thing I know a lot of you Sunday players tuning in for, it is the Summer League. Now, we're into our third week, of the second week, shall I say, of the Summer League. We had a very strange first week where managed to get 2 draws out of this, 4 teams on a stalemate on 1 point, but then we had a high-scoring set of wins, a 10-0 and a 6-0, and there was another 6-2, I believe. Those, of course. So how did it get on yesterday? I mean, I'm going to shoot straight over to my left, and Mr. Ali, while I dig back into my computer and look at those results properly, I'm guilty for that. How did it go yesterday? Tell me what was going on.
I think there's 2 shock results yesterday, which was not on the cards or not expected. The Hawk and Eagle losing 1-0, and I think Robin Hood also, the Hawk and Eagle losing 2-1 and Robin Hood losing 1-0, and both, I think on paper, if you would have predicted both Robin Hood and Hawk and Eagle to win, so that was a bit of a shock day. So it's going to be a mountain to climb for both teams, because before the game, both teams would be thinking of championship itself, or at least being at least on the top 3 situation, or chasing championship. Now that they're
second and third last year, respectively.
Exactly. So right? They are experienced clubs. In the winter, they play top division. So to lose against Boundary, and so it's a bit of a shock. So other teams will be liking that. I like the way St. Catherine's are doing. They had a really hard game against Walthamstow Red Star and got a good convincing win. So at the moment of time, the team to look forward to or keep an eye on is St. Catherine's. They're on form, they gain the results, and they do very well.
What, do you know what? I might as well bring these boys smoothly in, because Italian FC, I mean, welcome, young man. Give us your name again.
My name is Shihab.
Shihab. Now, my understanding is chairman, manager, coach, player, mentor, friend, amigo, is that what they say?
Amigo.
Yeah. Amigo. Man. How do you put up with so many positions? But anyway, Italian. How is this team going?
Okay. Firstly, we joined this ELF championship last year. Some of us played in Weavers FC last year, and this year we thought, instead of going in someone else's team, why not make our own team with all our friends? And as you can see, our team is made entirely among friends. Is all us. So we thought about this idea, we talked about it, everyone was happy about it, so we joined the league.
Excellent. What I want to say is, because I'm going to ask you, young man, this question, because obviously you're friends. Now, we could turn around and say you're all friends in Tower Hamlets, or you're all friends in London, which means you can have anyone. But what's special about your friendship with this group? Where are you guys originally from?
I'm originally from countryside, is like Newland, and then I think, cause I know one of my friends was in the same college.
So the countryside of Italy.
I could say yeah.
Yes, so all of you guys are all from Italy, aren't you?
Yeah.
And that's why you call Italian FC.
Yes. Yeah.
And last year you went under the disguise of Weavers FC.
Yeah. Some of the players were on Weavers. Yeah.
Okay, and so that's how your friendship has started, yeah?
Yeah.
And is it because you guys have played football out there in Italy?
Yeah. Also, yeah.
I think because we have something in common. This thing to speak a similar language, obviously this is the main thing, I think, and more also our age, our background is similar. So we had something in common that took up to make this team. And
Now,
I think I want to precise, it's not only our team, yes, it's called Italian FC. There is a lot of Italian guys, but it's not made only from Italian guys. There are 2 Portuguese guys as well.
okay, brilliant. Bengali origin Portuguese guys.
No, they are
They are
Portuguese.
born and bred Portuguese.
Yeah,
right.
and the rest is all Bengali,
And
origin Bengali Italian guys.
Wow.
Yes.
Listen, I'm going to give you guys a breather while I get some commentary over from my far side. Rash, I know you're itching to ask questions, but Shakil, listen, what's beautiful about this team? Tell me about it.
It's that they're all young and they're all passionate about one thing, and that is football and bringing togetherness. And I think that's what football does as a community. They are a community, really. They come to London and made a new community, and they're settling in. And what's quite interesting is how these guys are playing together. They don't have much, English. They haven't been here for much long. And they're sponsoring. I'm not sure how they're sponsoring the team, but
I mean, no doubt we're going to address that as we go through. I mean, yeah, but Rash, I know you're itching to ask these answers.
I've seen them both the games. I saw last Sunday and before. Although they haven't picked up the results, I must say, especially last week when I first saw them, I watched the full game. Although they were overpowered physically by St. Catherine's, they actually play good football. There are times, technically, a lot of the players, especially midfield, I was quite impressed. They can play football. I think it's just a physical side, because majority of them are young and size-wise are smaller. I think the physical aspect is where they'll fall short. But in terms of football-wise, they play good football, and it was nice and refreshing. So even yesterday when they played Arsenal, because we know Arsenal like to play football as well, it's nice watching both teams play, because it's on the ball, there's no long balls, they're trying to play the attractive football, and it was refreshing to see. And hopefully, what they need to do is make sure they stick together, don't worry about the results. Long-term wise, if they keep on playing, to keep it together, play this good football, success will come in the future, in the long-term wise. In 1 year down the line, 2 years down, they'll be a good team to play against, and they'll be successful, guaranteed, because I like the ethos, I like the way they play, and the togetherness. It's nice to see.
Shax, you want to say something?
Well, last year I did play against that team, half of the teammates as Wolves, and Wolves, wow, they're pacey guys. They're actually quite fast, physically not, not strong enough, but I think they have pace in the team, and they got so much energy, and I think that's the good thing about Summer League, because of the heat, the humidity. It is quite tough in that league to have that pace, and to have that, energy is vital for it, to have energy.
I think everyone probably wants to see the results of yesterday, so hopefully if all is working well, it's going to be coming up on the screen for you now, and I can go over the results from yesterday. So just talking about the game here, or we're probably going to look at the results later on, but just for me to go over it, these guys played against the Arsenal and they lost 5-1. We also had Fish Island play against Ace winning that game 8-0. We had, oh there we go, that come up for you there. We had Hawk and Eagle, as Rashid just mentioned, they lost a battling game against AMY 2-1. Robin Hood Tigers losing 1-0 against Boundary. I think we're going to comment a bit more on that shortly. And the top table 2 battle very early on in the second week, we had first versus second, St. Catherine's versus Walthamstow Red Star, and that finished St. Catherine's victors at 2-1. So the table looks like this. St. Catherine's having that nice little crawl away. Good team. I've heard from people that have been watching them, but yeah, 2 games, 2 wins, 11 goals scored. They have conceded 1, but right now that doesn't matter. 6 points there. Ace there, leapfrogging quite a few teams following their draw from last week, so they're on 4 points there. AMY on 4 points as well. Boundary on 4 points following that victory, and then we have the teams that have 3 points from last week, Walthamstow and Red Star, and Arsenal picking up their first set of points. Hawk and Eagle there in 8th place, and lastly Italian second from bottom, and Fish Island bottom. No doubt Tim's going to come on the show and let us know his summer's getting on. But that is your Prem division. Rash, just as I mentioned Robin Hood, it was around this time last year, Robin Hood storming up the table. They came against these boys, Weavers, or some of their players, Weavers, and they lost 2-1. That ultimately cost them the division. Now, Robin Hood losing against Boundary 1-0.
And to be honest, you know what, it was a game of 2 halves. First off, I don't know where Robin Hood was, because I was quite surprised, but I thought, Boundary, a good setup, but I would have thought they'll be challenging or be at the top of the table, or top half of the table itself. They sat back and were not really up for the game. It's only when they were 1-0 down. Second half, I must say, they had I think 90% of the possession. They were attacking non-stop, they're throwing everything at them, but boundary being boundary, they have I think the best keeper in the all of Summer League, one of the best keepers. And defensive-wise, they were solid, they were like a rock wall. And Robin Hood threw everything from the kitchen sink, so to speak, but he just couldn't. And you know, credit to Boundary for making sure getting the 3 points. But I think Robin Hood should have played from the first half, not second half. I think first half they'll probably sleep.
And as for obviously St Catherine's Walthamstow, could we call it a pinnacle result for the title?
To be honest, I think St Catherine's felt confident. I think their striker, number 12, he is a handful. He's like a beast.
You got a name for him?
I can't remember his name, but he is a really top player. He's physically strong. He shoves off defenders. He's got a shot on him. He's got pace. He can dribble. He is, I think, the player to look out for in the Summer League, and I'm impressed with him. Team itself, I think, I was a bit surprised. Wolverhampton Red Star, they gave a good challenge. And it was quite close in the last 15 minutes because 2-1. They came back from 2-0 down, and it could have been different. But credit to Walthamstow, they gave a full because I didn't think they can manage to maintain or handle St Catherine's, but they did because some of the players I even remember back in the days playing the Asian League were in the defence, but they look half decent. So I think this time what's interesting is some of the teams we did not expect will be actually challenging or giving teams a hard time, likes of Boundary, likes of AMY, likes of Walthamstow Red Star, will be a tough ask for a lot of teams. It's not easy, guaranteed 3 points win, as we saw yesterday.
Okay. Shaquille, AMY beating Hawk and Eagle. I mean, 2-1 that result. Do you think, is it over for Hawk and Eagle, considering they've still got to play Robin Hood, Ace, Walthamstow, St Catherine's, big teams?
No, I don't think so. It's over. They always start slow. They're slow starters, but then they finish strong. And I think that's the good thing about them. They always start slow, and they always finish strong. And I think it's not about sprinting in this league. It's about marathon. Take it step by step, and the results will come for them. Definitely.
Okay. Coming back across to you guys, we've got a few minutes before we go for a break. Let's talk about your game yesterday. So, unfortunately, losing 5-1 against Arsenal. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of? Let's look at your opposition with respect. What do you think of the Arsenal? That as a team.
They were a very strong team, but I think we could have done better yesterday because respect St Catherine's on our first match day. I thought Arsenal were more like in a low level with us. Okay, in our level. So
you feel as though St Catherine's are one of the better teams?
Yes, St
and this is someone you can challenge from mid-table.
We could have challenged them. Yeah. We could have done better yesterday. The problem was when we started the game, we started with the right mentality. But while doing the game with the tiredness and everything, when we concede goals, the morale of the team just goes down.
It does, yeah.
So we need to work on this. We need to work on our mentality, our mental strengthness. Don't get affected by tiredness and stay concentrated on the game for the whole 70 minutes.
Of course. I mean, I have to ask, back in Italy, what was the level of football like compared to what you're playing against today? I mean, I'll ask you, young man, because
it's completely different. Because in Italy, I played in a 7-side football for 1 year, and then I played on 11-side for 2 years. And basically, in Italy, we played with other teams that were at the same age of us. But here, it's completely different. So you have to get used to. And last year, I played as a PFC Rivers, and I see the big difference from here and then from Italy. It was big difference, but it was like.
What do you think is the difference, though? Are they stronger here, or are they more skillful?
Physically. It's just physical. Yeah, it's physical. I don't think skill. No, not all skill.
And what about you guys? You're skillful but not physical.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point.
There we go.
That's the point. And also for the chemistry. I think for the chemistry.
For the
chemistry.
The chemistry?
Yeah.
Of the team.
Oh, the chemistry of the team.
Because we all know from each other. Because we all know, so it's better for us to play against them.
You know what? Let's take Ilfl out of the equation. I need to ask you, old man, because if we look at the world stage itself, when we look at British football and we look at Italian football, it's exactly what these boys tell us. Because the Premier League is physical. Italians can't come and handle it here. But we go back to the days when Roberto Baggio and Vialli and whatnot. Well, come on, help me out, Rash. Go on.
They're right. No, I think when I first saw them last week, when the first game, I was like, I had to watch them. I said, you know what, I've got to see them play. Although I know a few players play Weavers, that is the actual case. Physically, I think they'll have a hard time with a lot of team. But on the floor, footballing wise, some of them play good football. But then, to be successful, I think just football is not good enough. They will need to strengthen up. They will need to get physical. They need to roughen up the game, change a bit of strategy. They'll have to do that to get success, unfortunately. Because playing pretty football is not going to always win or be successful on long term wise. They need to mix it up. So I think hopefully, as they get more experience, as they see, they'll change ways.
I'm going to cut you off. We've got to go for a break. So don't go too far. We're just going to have a quick little break. And then we've got to hear more about these guys and how they actually set up the team, Italian FC. And my usual partner's got to make a few comments about the other teams. So we'll see you in a few moments.